Hey everyone, Scunny here. So today, this video will be a little bit different. I thought I'd sit down and talk you through my experience building the city that you might have seen in the latest City Skylines II trailer for Bridges and Ports. It's one of those projects that completely took over my life for a few weeks in the best possible way, and I wanted to share how it all came together, what I learned and what made me think differently about City Skylines II itself. This all started when I got a message from Paradox, the publishers of City Skylines II. They reached out earlier this year, completely out of the blue. At a time, I think my channel just passed 10,000 subscribers, tiny compared to most of the other creators in the community. And honestly, I thought they might have got the wrong person, but they were pretty happy with what I was doing on the channel, both in my old vanilla city build and in my new modded series, and they wanted to get me on board and have a look at the Bridges and Ports DLC. Now, this DLC was initially planned for early this year, but it got postponed, and at first I was really gutted and I just wanted people to play it like how I'd been playing it a few weeks earlier. But that delay turned out to be a blessing because it gave the team time to refine everything. And when I finally got my hands on the updated build, it felt like a totally new game. Maybe it was because of some of the new features, or maybe it was because some of bugs have been squashed, or maybe I just became a different player. I don't know, but it was an interesting experience for sure. You'll notice in the trailer that there are two city builds. So the first city I built was honestly a little bit of a struggle. I had so many issues with the terrain, elevation, with how bridges connected. It was really messy, and up to that point I was so used to using mods. Switching back to vanilla was a little bit jarring, but in a way it kind of helped me understand how everything really worked under the hood. So when I got round to starting my second city in the trailer, the one that is featured the most, everything just kind of clicked. It was smoother, it was more natural, and the assets that they added since the early build, well, I can't really say too much, but it brought a lot of life to the city for sure. It's hard to describe how much of a difference a handful of new pieces can make until you start just playing with them, watching the city respond. With this build, I wanted to design with purpose. I wanted everything to make sense. So if I needed industry, I built industry. And if I needed a port, I built it where the demand would be, right near the downtown. I didn't want it to feel like a showpiece city. I wanted it to be functional. And once the ports came online and seeing the ships moving in and out and ferries crisscrossing through the center of the city, it just became incredible. Watch the layers of life happening at once. Boats below, trams and cars in the middle, and metro trains running above. All of it working together like a living, breathing machine. And no other city builder really does that. More so now than earlier in the City Skylines 2 release, a lot of my projects focus on the visuals, but I really wanted this city to work. So before I handed it over, I made sure that unemployment was low, traffic was flowing, and garbage and death care was all balanced. And it's probably one of the most stable cities I've ever built. Now, I'm not saying that it's fully functional. There are lots of issues. It's a growing city, but that's kind of what I really enjoyed about not having to worry about the mods. I could just build and expand and knock a building down, or widen a road, or draw a tram or a train track over the top of the road without really worrying about the realism. It was just about enjoying the game. Now let's talk about the vanilla versus modded mindset. This is something that kind of came up halfway through the project. And do you know what's funny? Playing with just the vanilla game and no mods kind of changed my point of view on the genre of city building. This project reminded me how it's satisfying just to build, just to grow a city and fix its problems and keep it expanding. I think a lot of players jump straight into modding, and that's fine, but if you're new, I'd say spend some time in vanilla first, especially now that we've had all these updates. Learn the systems and push your population to say something like 150,000. Make sure your traffic and services are well served, and then use mods to expand your horizons and elevate the game, not fix the game. That's where the real fun begins. Now it's funny, I never really set out to become a YouTuber. It was actually the City Skylines II Discord community that encouraged me to start making videos in the first place. And I don't upload as often as I'd like, but every project feels like a story worth telling, and working directly with Paradox on something like this, it was pretty surreal. They've been great to work with, and I completely understand how careful they have to be with communication. It's a balancing act. You want to share progress, but you also don't want to promise too much. And I think Bridges and Ports DLC shows how far the game has come. And honestly, I'm just proud to be a small part of it, and how this game could eventually become everybody's favorite city builder. Now what's next? Well, looking ahead, I'd love to take what I've learned from this build and apply it to my main Sunny Isle series. I think this experience just reminded me why I love city builders in the first place. Just creating something that feels a little bit more alive. Anyway, that's a bit of the story behind the Bridges and Ports trailer city. And if you've spotted anything interesting and you want to ask more questions about it, please do post a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care. Goodbye.